Good morning, everybody. We are here at Lake 22, which is where you go if you want to get. It's always guaranteed epicness. Look how insane.
Lake 22.
Lake 22, baby. Wow. What is going on, everybody? Today's review slash vlog is on Sony's new ZV-1. Now, this camera came out about 2 months ago, so it's not brand new, but we have our hands on it now. And really, this camera was aimed at creators, at vloggers, people who pretty much do this on camera. We are gonna be doing some testing of this camera today, and we're vlogging. We're using this camera for what it's for. We're gonna do a little hiking vlog, show some. Also, if you're new around here, hello. Nice to have you watching this video. We are Moment. We do a lot of fun videos, gear reviews, not very scientific, but we really get out and use cameras and gear. And we have an awesome online shop where we sell gear from brands that we actually enjoy using and creators use. So check that out, including the ZV-1. We're selling Sony gear now on the shop. So link below. Consider hitting that subscribe button if you're new around here, and let's get into this camera.
Whoa, they sent a Pelican case with it?
It's a loaner. So just a few days ago, we got the ZV-1 shipped to the office. We opened it up and kind of had a first look at it. Yes. That screen is sick. That's so nice, and it shuts all. Okay, this isn't the part of the review yet. Back to it. My first impression of the ZV-1 was that it's very small, coming kind of from SLR, DSLR. I mean, we shoot on phones a lot too, but the ZV-1 as a camera is so small and compact. It's really fun. If you've used any of the RX line, this will feel right at home. It's much smaller than an iced coffee. Build quality overall is pretty good. It's plastic, but seems to be pretty rugged. It's got this little grip now too, and large record button, easy toggle zoom. Really overall a simple camera to use. What's great about the ZV-1 is that I think it offers creators a good stepping stone if they're not ready to build out a full rig of a DSLR. If you're coming from your phone, which is really simple, has limited settings, and you want kind of something right in the middle to create with that has a little more advanced settings, but still has kind of the full package, built-in lens, built-in good microphone, flip out screen, you can kind of grab it and go. This is a great option for that. And they start, be bold, start cold. That was what Kearns told me one time. And wear your mask. I got a buff.
Yeah, I got a buff too.
Buffs for hikes. Here, let me get the zoom.
Yeah. Wait, check it out, ready? I look like a scientist.
All right, first steps, here we go.
First steps, you saw it here.
First steps, and we're already doing great.
Yeah.
The first thing I noticed about this camera was that the standard picture profile does not look very good. It's too crunchy, hardly any dynamic range, and it's kind of just overly contrasted. It can work if that's the look you're going for, but I love that Sony has different picture profiles built into this. So I chose PP6, which is a picture profile setting for all the video, and I've been really happy with how that's looked. PP6 was kind of a nice balance in color and in contrast so that I don't have to color grade too much, but I definitely have a flatter profile to work with than the default standard color profile. So I would suggest definitely doing that. PP6 is all the footage you're gonna see in this review is shot in that, besides the initial footage in the office. This is the very first clip. I have the exposure turned down. I'm not sure how to use this yet. So on that thread of how we use it for video, I actually shoot mostly in 1080p, 24 frames per second. The reason I do 1080 on this is because the width of the focal length in 4K with stabilization, even stabilization off, it crops in a little too much where I don't like the look. And this is me driving in 1080p, standard stabilization. Well, I'm not driving yet, we're about to, but wanna show you the difference real quick. So arms distance away from the steering wheel, pretty good shot. And I'll switch to 4K now so you can see the difference. All right, this is now in 4K, so here's the difference in width from the last shot to this. It looks pretty good, it's usable, it's definitely tighter. I'm at full arm's distance here, but if you're just zooming in on stuff. And I honestly think a camera like this is just one of those where you're not worried about absolute best quality. It's more about getting the shot, and if you're creating vlogging yourself, I think having a little bit more width with the 1080 footage, it looks really good. It's a good 1080. I think it's totally fine. That's how we've used it in the vlog, and it holds up nicely. 1080 120 on this camera is the other frame rate I shoot with, so I either shoot 1080 24 frames per second for all the vlogging real-time stuff, and then 1080 120. The 120 on this and 1080 looks pretty freaking awesome for how small this camera is. I was really impressed with it. They obviously have 480, 960, and 240 like high frame rate slow motion, but honestly, don't mess with those. They don't look that good. They're kind of cool and a little bit gimmicky, but the 1080 120 is that sweet spot of super slow motion that actually looks really good. The way I use this camera as well is keeping it on shutter priority. So I have my shutter speed set to 1/50th. You can put shutter priority mode on, and then you're basically, what's happening is your aperture is changing and your ISO is changing. So you still get like good natural motion blur in your vlog, and you don't have a choppy shutter speed. I really like that, but the thing I will tell you is that to turn the exposure comp down to like almost -1, these cameras, even phones, but they tend to overexpose, and I don't know, I've always found way better luck with turning it down to like -0.7, -1, or -1.3. So most of the footage you'll see today is all at exposure comp -1, especially on a hike. It's hard when you're going through trees and you have varied lighting to have the camera not overexposed. So I would rather have a slightly darker image than just nasty blown out. So yeah, I'm sweating. All right, we're still going. Hiking up the first little exposed area. Good thing about this camera, which I just turned on, it has a built-in ND filter, which is crazy that it's just in here. I think it's like about 3 stops I read, so it's nice. It went from completely letting me not have exposure at 1/50th of a shutter speed to having exposure now, f7. So that's pretty decent. Not bad, not bad. Look at the view.
You got Liberty Peak over there.
All right, next thing I want to talk about is the flip out screen. Yes, 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 I love it. It's perfect because it goes to the side, it can close, and then it provides protection on the back when you want to throw it in your pocket or just put it on the ground. I love how it articulates. The quality is really good. It's just, this is a perfect screen. Thank you, Sony. It's so simple. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I'm stoked they included a swivel screen. You need that for vlogging. It's pretty crucial to see yourself. Next thing is, a lot of people talk about the width of this lens not quite being wide enough, and I get where they're coming from, because right now this angle, this field of view is super wide. This is like a 16mm full frame look. I think this lens is wide enough to vlog for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah, I see what people are saying. It's nice to see like really big wides on certain cameras, but I think this is, for a built-in lens, this is great. I definitely think it's good enough in 1080p. You put it on standard stabilization mode, it's gonna give you the widest shot you can get. And I mean, you can see for yourself in the comparisons that I'll put up right here, but yeah, don't let that like deter you from not getting this camera. I think the width is fine. If you hold it out on arm's length like this, you can also get a little tripod to get a little more extension. I think the versatility of this lens being a 24-70 equivalent on full frame, it's pretty good. It's a bummer that it crops in a little bit on 4K if that's really what you were trying to shoot on this camera exclusively. It is a little bit tight there, but it's still something that like is definitely usable. And the audio quality built in, it's got little directional mics, it's got this little furry guy now. So this test, we are gonna hold the camera out the window or near the window with the wind muff on, which it currently is, and then one with the wind muff off to see if it actually does anything. So Okay, here we go. I mean, it's getting blasted, so, and now I'll go off, all in real time. All right, how did that sound? Hopefully, it could have probably, I mean, any mic, I don't expect to sound amazing, but cool, hopefully it worked. Microphone jack is huge because now you can plug in, if you want this to be your main rig with really good audio, you have that option. I personally love keeping it small like this because that's the point of this camera, is to keep it small, not really build it out. But you can, especially if you're setting this up for like, you know, if you're streaming on this camera or it's your desk camera at home or anything like that, you can plug in good quality audio with an external shotgun mic. You can also plug in a lav mic, really get that quality good. Well, what's going on everybody, you guys? This is the Sony ZV-1 review coming at you a couple months too late because we haven't had our hands on the camera yet, but now we are selling it on the Moment website. So check it out. Most reviews focus on video. Obviously, you can still shoot photos on this, and the Sony sensor is great. You can shoot raw photos, burst, it's really fast. The photo quality is awesome. If you're looking at getting this as a main photo camera, there's probably better options like the RX100 series, just because it has a dedicated eye viewfinder. So when it's really sunny, that's the only negative on this. There's no like dedicated viewfinder. But if you're wondering, it can definitely still take really good photos, and I got a couple on the hike that I think look pretty good. So let's talk battery life. This battery is pretty small. I definitely think it's fine. I wish they included a battery like the A6600 has, or something like that, just because then you would really have like all day or pretty long day battery. But what you can do on this camera is charge via USB. So if you have a USB brick or any like small little portable USB, maybe you're in the car, you can plug it in right here onto the micro USB cable. And that's what we did out hiking. I have this brick from Nomad. I plugged it right in. So on the way up, we vlogged. And then we charged it at the top. Now here's where things got a little bit more negative. We actually got a tiny splash of water. I was trying to film this slow-mo shot in 120 of Kern stomping in the puddle, and we got the shot, and I think it actually looks really great. I was just handheld, swooped in, but a little bit of water got on the front of the lens, which caused condensation to build up.
Here we are.
Oh, I got water on the lens.
Oh no.
From that splash, 1 second. Oh man. So the light's hitting it right here, and that's the thing of water I'm talking about. Oh, look at this.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Dry that out.
So we're gonna dry it out. Yo, Kearns.
How's it looking?
It looks like we just got out of like a storm. This is a really sunny day on a beautiful lake, and
it looks like PNW fog.
this camera is definitely not waterproof, so just be careful of that. I would say if you're gonna go on a hike or on a trip and you know you're gonna be in rain or anything like that, bring like a plastic bag. Make sure you can put this in somewhere where if it does start to rain or you know there's gonna be a lot of water, this is not by any means a weather-tight body or lens, so just be aware of that. Dude, there's like literally a splash of water. Don't know how that happened.
No, it's like, yeah, it's getting...
Zoom still works.
That's all that matters.
I personally love using this little zoom toggle. You don't get that when you're using like a lens as much. So having this like zoom with this funny sound, I think is so much fun. This camera is so good for just like good low-key vlogging. No one is gonna stare at you at the airport with this camera. Unlike a huge DSLR rig with a big shotgun mic on the top, and you have like a gorilla pod, and you're just going full vlogger status, people are definitely gonna look at you, and it's just a bigger unit you're holding. This little thing in your hand like this, no one's gonna look twice at you. It's similar to like shooting on a phone, but you get like some of the benefits of a real camera. I think there's something to be said about the small size, and even if you're a creator that has a bigger camera already, a full-size rig, having this for certain occasions where it's just like better to have a small camera is kind of nice. And I love like that. Personally, love that low-key vlogging style where the quality might not be like through the roof, because that's probably why you're not buying this camera, but you're capturing way more like fun moments. You're zooming in, you're just getting like shots. Hey, got the pizza.
I got the goods. You wanna see it?
Yeah, let's see it.
Back up.
There's more of a funness about this camera than carrying around like a massive 1DX or whatever y'all are carrying around these days. Other than that, been super happy with this camera. I can't wait to keep using it. This would be something I would definitely buy myself to have around with the family, throw it in for little van trips. I love shooting on my phone because you get the instant postability, and you can sync this up to your phone, but this camera it's so small. I mean, it fits. So check it out. If you are interested in this camera, please buy it from our shop linked below. I hope you enjoyed some of these examples. We have a written review portion of this as well with more photos from the shoot that you can check out, also linked below. Shout out Natalie for helping me write that. You guys have a great day. If you have any other questions on the ZV-1 specifically, put them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them, and maybe we'll do more videos on it in the future. But for now, hope you enjoyed that. That vlog was fun, a little bit crusty. Thanks, Kearns, for hiking with me. All right, see you guys.